Hi, I'm Ruby from Ruby's Bedtime Stories. Today I'm going to read Pig Newton's famous cookies, written and illustrated by Jo Hudson. And this book has been sent to me from the USA. In his tiny kitchen on the far side of the kingdom, Pig Newton baked cookies for the people of Sweetsville. These cookies are absolutely perfect. Whatever you do, don't tell the king about the cookies. On the other side of the kingdom, the king of Sweetsville had a majestic sweet tooth and wanted all things sweet for himself. One night, the king was awakened by a scent he did not recognize. He jumped out of bed, hurried to the window, and took a long whiff. "Where are my royal bakers?" the king bellowed. The castle walls rattled, and the bakers came running. "Do you smell that?" the king asked. The bakers tipped their noses and sniffed, but said nothing. "Those are cookies, you pastry wizards," the king snapped. "I must have them. Take my fattest hen and trade her for those cookies." Early the next morning, the three royal bakers hurried off to get the cookies for the king. Pig Newton was busy mixing sugar with butter for another batch of cookies when there was a loud knock at the door. "The king will give his fattest hen for your cookies." "I could use a fat hen to lay eggs for my cookies, but the king already has all of the cakes and pies in the land. Tell the people of Sweetsville should at least have the cookies." Tell the king, "No." The royal bakers returned to the castle to deliver Pig Newton's message to the king. "Your Majesty, the cookie baker will not barter for a hen." The king was not happy. "My milk is already poured. Go back and offer my fattest hen and my strongest ox for those cookies." Pig Newton had just started cracking eggs and adding them to his cookie mixture when there was another knock at the door. "The king will give his fattest hen and his strongest ox for the cookies." Pig Newton thought about the king's offer. "I could use a strong ox to help harvest wheat for flour, but the people of Sweetsville should have the cookies." Again, tell the king, "No." Once again, the royal bakers returned to the castle to deliver Pig Newton's message to the king. "Your Majesty, the cookie baker will not barter for a hen and an ox." "This is ridiculous," snarled the king. "Take my fastest steed as well. Surely that will be enough to trade for mere cookies." Pig Newton was sifting flour when there was a third knock at the door. "The king will give his fattest hen, his strongest ox, and his fastest steed for your cookies. Do you accept his offer?" "I could use a fast horse to deliver my cookies, but I cannot forget about the people of the kingdom. They will be heartbroken without the cookies. Thank the king for his generosity, but I must still say, no." The king grew desperate when the bakers came back a third time without any cookies. He called for his top advisor. I must have those cookies. Tell me what to do. The advisor paused a moment. Your Majesty, you must offer the cookie baker your most precious possession. The only things more precious to me are my pastries, the king replied. What kind of advice is this? The king's advisor took a deep breath before whispering. You could share. Share? A king does not share. I will have none of it. You are king of the people, your Majesty, not king of pastries. The king turned to his royal bakers. Is it possible to bake enough pastries for everyone? Yes! Go then, the king ordered. Let it be known that from this day forward, the king and the people of Sweetsville shall share all pastries. Pig Newton had just finished baking the last batch of cookies when the royal bakers burst through the door. The king will share! If the king shares, the people will have their pies and cakes again. This is an offer I cannot refuse. We will tell the king, yes! So, Pig Newton and the royal bakers loaded up all of the cookies and headed back to the castle to tell the king the exciting news. The king will share! The king will share! Is it true, your Majesty, that you will share your pastries with the people? Pig Newton asked of the king. If you share your cookies with me, the king replied. Pig Newton squealed with delight. I accept your offer. The king's sweet tooth twinkled. Let the sharing begin. From that day forward, the king and the people of Sweetsville shared all things sweet. Thanks to Pig Newton and the royal bakers, who shared pastry recipes and lived happily ever after. And at the back of this book, you can make some fabulous cookies. A big thank you to Jo Hudson for sending me this wonderful book. Thank you for joining me. Bye!